Welcome, everybody, to episode 4 of the Game of Spoilers show. Pow! My name is Anita. I am also known as Pixie Dust Cosplay. I am the main host of the CosCast, usually. But today, as usual, I'm going to give the word over to one of my lovely co-hosts.
Hello. I'm Sunniva, aka Annabella, aka Papa Smurf. No. I'm gonna talk you through this game of spoilers, as we call it. But we also have another person with us, because this is the CosCast, and we are 3 people, and the third person is...
Anasia Cosplay.
Yay!
Yay.
Welcome, ladies!
Thank you.
Always says. Anyways, this episode was a rough one, I must say.
Cray cray.
Very much so. It's called Spoils of War.
Mm-hmm.
And as the titles say, I guess we all have guessed that it will include some gold from High Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, the opening scene for the episode is we see all the Lannister soldiers marching, and they have the gold from High Garden, and we see a lot of wagons.
Whoops.
Oh, unprofessional!
Oh, yes, very, very sorry about that.
Kidding. Only kidding.
Yes.
We see Bronn talking to Jaime, and they are kind of talking about Bronn being unhappy about not getting enough paid. And Bronn is wondering what Jaime is thinking about, because he seems quiet and timid and not really his normal self.
Aww.
So one of the questions that Bronn asks Jaime, what is it to be upset about?
Yeah.
What is it? What is it to be upset about? Like, for Jaime?
Well, I mean, his sister has finally gone bad crap crazy. So,
Well,
there's
Jaime
that.
does not know this, but from last episode, Jaime got some news from Olenna.
Yeah, that's true. He has
And-
quite a lot to be upset about.
He does, but he can't tell Bronn though. can
No, I don't think so.
I'm guessing he's quite bummed because I think he's struggling whether to tell Cersei or not.
he? Yeah, maybe. We'll just have to wait and see if he ever gets to do that, because
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, if I were Jaime and I had talked Cersei out of, torturing Olenna, and then I have to go back to her and tell her that, sorry, but that bitch killed your son. My bad.
Tyrion, by the way, is they didn't do anything. So
Yeah, and
Except kill our father.
yeah.
But yeah, that's
That was a consequence of them, wrongly accusing him of killing Joffrey.
yeah.
Anyway, just one comment that Bronn comes with that I find really, really funny, and that is, he said, "Did the Queen of Thorns give you a prick in the balls?" Oh,
Yeah.
did she? Yes.
Yes, she did.
Indeed.
Most certainly.
But I also think that this scene kind of shows something about Bronn, because Bronn is not happy about not getting enough money.
But, I mean, he's a
And-
sellsword and he's greedy, so of course he's never going to think that he's getting enough money.
Yeah, but
And I
I'm
think-
kind of thinking, wasn't he in earlier season promised something by Tyrion or whatever?
He was promised a castle.
Yeah, but I think he got a castle, and he also
did.
married some noble lady who was from a minor family. I think he wasn't happy with the size of his castle.
Yes.
He
this
wants
is true.
more.
Or
Okay.
maybe he just misses Tyrion because Tyrion gave him bigger gifts.
Maybe,
Nah.
but I don't think that's it though. No.
I just think that this establishes Bronn's loyalty. He's not loyal to anyone. He's just loyal to whoever pays him more. So this means that he could potentially switch sides.
He could.
And I like that.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
Bronn is a cool character, I think.
Yeah,
He's interesting.
He did something, kind of, loyal inspired act at the end of the.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to have to dig into that. He did do something very heroic towards the end of the episode.
Do we know that it is Bronn, though? Because it was never really clear.
No, it wasn't very clear, but I'm guessing.
I'm guessing too.
All right, let's move on. Also, I just want to point out Dickon, because this character, we've made fun of him before, and we can't stop do that now.
No.
And I just have to say one thing. Have you noticed how ridiculously huge his body is compared to his head?
Yes, his head is tiny!
Oh, that's mean to say. I mean, it's the actor. He's like a real person. We shouldn't say that.
No, but I think they've done this on purpose, just to make him look like a Johnny Bravo character, like this blonde character of a just like a level 2 in a level 50 area.
Yeah. There is a meme out there with that picture when you send a level 2 character into a boss fight.
Yeah, that's so funny.
That's pretty much Dickon.
That is Dickon.
And you got the meme with the Dickon, Dick off with the pictures of what their faces.
But we also get to know that they are collecting the harvest. They are collecting food, and they're taking a lot of food from different farmers, which I think is a very important point because this will be important later.
Yes, because Sansa is doing the same. She started doing that in the last episode, last week, stocking up for the long night, the long winter.
They are. And also they have taken all the food from
Highgarden.
Costly Rock.
Yes, that too.
So a lot of King's Landing's food is on with these soldiers.
Yeah.
All right.
Heresetai is saying Bronn is A+.
He is. He's the best. I love Bronn. Anyway, the next scene of the episode is with the Iron Banker and Cersei. And they are talking amongst themselves about Cersei being better or worse, I don't know, than her father. And it seems like everything is going Cersei's way, or at least she thinks it is. And it seems like the Iron Bank also is on Cersei's side, as long as she pays.
For now.
Exactly. Do we think that this comment might mean something about the gold? Will it arrive in time?
I think it was a foreshadowing of what happens later in the episode. That is what I think. This is kind of like, this is kind of like, yes, well, you're going to pay us with all this gold from Highgarden. Of course, we're going to be friends and, give you more loans for new things, seeing as you pay your debts. And then it builds up to what happens later. Yeah. That's what that scene felt like to me.
Yeah.
I wasn't really thinking anything much about it, other than that Cersei is quite, clever and ruthless.
Yeah. But she says something else. I can't really remember what it was, but she says something about because he's talking about I can't remember it, so we're just gonna jump right over it. But she says something about that she has lost something that she wants to find again, or I don't know. But I'm not really sure what she meant. If anyone in the chat or anyone who watches this knows what Cersei meant by that comment, please tell me, because I have no idea.
Lost something? Do you? No, I might be, switching things up, but she said something about collecting the entire kingdom or something while she was standing by the map.
No, it was that time.
Okay. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what it was, but it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Next scene is with Bran and Littlefinger, and this one is kind of cool because we can see there's some sort of, you can see like the wheels inside of Littlefinger's head working as he talks to Bran.
Yeah.
And Bran just Littlefinger no emotions so he can work back on them. Because I think that's some sort of what Littlefinger do. He uses the reactions of other people to sort out his own reactions to things.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very good at reading other people.
And you can't do that with Bran, really.
No, Bran is quite, the doll.
It's not Bran anymore.
No, he's not Bran anymore. Oh, and if people are wondering why Aniasia's camera isn't on, it's because they're having internet issues and her boyfriend has a raid date or something probably today, so...
Yeah, and just to, be a bit smoother and not too laggy, I turn my camera off. So you can watch Loveliness instead.
Yes. The beautiful Ness from our Fateful Fumble campaigns. Yes.
But what do we think about the reason why Littlefinger gives Bran the dagger? Why do we think this is?
I mean,
I'm not sure.
No, didn't he say that it was the dagger that killed his mother?
No, he said that this was the dagger that was going to be used to kill you. Because it's the Valyrian dagger that was given to the assassin that was going to kill Bran in season 1. And I mean, Littlefinger is the one who hired that assassin to kill Bran in the first place. And seeing as Bran can see everything in the past and the present and the future or whatever, Bran probably knows that this was Littlefinger who did it.
That's right.
Yes. So one of the reasons why he didn't say a lot of things to Littlefinger, in my opinion, is probably because he didn't want to give him anything to work with, or he didn't want to let him know how much he already knows himself.
I agree. But then, you see, gives him a little taste of what he... So just chaos is bad.
Yeah, that's because that is something Littlefinger himself said in a past season.
Said it to Varys while him and Varys were speaking to each other.
Yeah.
But nobody would have heard that.
Bran should not know it, and that's what freaked Baelish out.
I'm kind of thinking that since Bran sees all of these things and I'm guessing he has seen a lot of things that Littlefinger has been doing, and that Littlefinger needs all those expressions and hints to read people and get under the skin.
Yeah.
That he actually stays motionless and expressionless to, put Littlefinger on the edge. Like, kind of giving him a warning that you won't get under my skin. And just, as you said, repeating what Littlefinger once said to, just really get under Littlefinger's skin.
Yeah, for sure. That's what he did.
Push him a bit off. To make chaos.
It seems that, and it seems to me that he really did. Littlefinger was quite unsure in that situation.
He was rattled, for sure.
Yeah. And then Littlefinger leaves, and well, before that, he says, because he just says, like, Lord Stark or something like that, and Bran is like, I'm not Lord Stark. Emo.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I think at some level, Littlefinger was probing to see if he could manipulate Bran and maybe, make him want to be Lord, or see how much he wanted to be Lord of Winterfell.
Yeah, because it's much easier to, steer a little kid than a full-grown man who's seen the White Walkers.
Yes, exactly.
And they didn't really get anywhere with Jon Snow, so...
No, and he's not getting anywhere with Sansa at the moment either. So he was probably trying to see if Bran could be his next target for manipulation.
And obviously, no luck there either.
Nope. Striking out with the Stark kids.
Yeah. But what do we think about the conversation between Bran and Mira? Because that's sort of... It's a bit harsh because Mira's crying and Bran doesn't give her any, sincere thank you for what she has done. She and her family, Hodor and Summer, and there's a lot of people who has died for Bran, and Bran doesn't seem to care. And she kind of figures out that Brandon Stark, he died
Well,
in the cave of Hodor. Do we think that actually happened, or do we still think that Bran is some sort of tween who thinks he's just better than everyone else and just thinks that he is the three-eyed raven now?
oh
Or do
no.
we
I legitimately think Bran is the three-eyed raven. And I mean, there is a little bit of Bran left in there, but I think once you get so deep into those powers, once you get to see all of the things that Bran sees now, I don't think you're able to keep attachments to the people around you and to like your normal mortal life anymore, because you've become something else entirely.
And if that is the case, then I have big issues with seeing the theory about Bran being the start of everything, Bran being the one who has destroyed everything. Because if it's not Bran anymore, then I don't see the point of him wanting to meddle in the past.
I mean, one point, the only motivation to meddle in the past would probably try to be to stop the White Walker thing from ever happening, because it would save the world. And the three-eyed raven is supposed to watch over the world and see everything. So that would be the only motivation that I could see that would make sense, is, you know, to try to keep the White Walkers from ever coming into existence, and in going back, maybe possibly causing it to happen in the first place.
But then Bran has to have some part of himself left.
Yeah.
And it can't only be the three-eyed raven.
No, because I think there's still a little bit left in there. I just think that it's become so meaningless in the grand scheme of things to him. Like, Brandon Stark doesn't matter anymore, the three-eyed raven does, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So he's just leaving his old self behind. He can probably remember being Brandon Stark, but Brandon Stark does not define his identity anymore.
Yeah, but it's like Cecilia Hansen says here in the chat. I think the Bran we knew is gone. He said Bran is another memory, just like everything else, right?
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, it can be that Bran's still there, but he's not in control. Bran's body contains two entities. That's the three-eyed raven and Bran, and that Bran might be dormant or something, while the three-eyed raven takes the shots.
Who knows?
Maybe, but I mean, he still recognizes his family and everything. He still sees that there's a bond there. It just doesn't mean as much to him anymore as it used to, I think. So, I don't think they're two separate entities. I just think that they've melded and become one thing.
We can look at Bran as a computer now. He just knows stuff. He's Google, basically.
Yeah, he's Google.
Google of Westeros.
with a difficult user interface.
Yes. Do we think we will ever see Mira again?
Probably not.
Maybe
in some epic battle of the North, I think, but not more than that.
No,
I guess you will see her in the fight against, the White Walkers. I mean, maybe she's going back to where she come from, where she and her deceased brother comes from.
That's what she said.
Yeah, she's going home.
Yeah, and maybe she'll meet some White Walkers on her way or something.
Who knows?
Maybe, or maybe we'll see her home being assailed by White Walkers at some point, and her fighting White Walkers and then possibly dying or conquering whichever. I mean but that's the only thing. If we ever see her again, I don't think it will be in a big thing. No.
Either. I just think it might be like for helping, or I don't know. Next scene is probably one of my favorite ones. Yes. It's Arya.
Yes.
Arya's
finally.
And let's talk about this step by step, because it was so glorious. The whole thing with the reunion and all. The first thing that happens is that we see Arya arriving at Winterfell, and she is met by some stupid guards.
Yeah, which is, to me, feels like a throwback to that time when she ended up outside of King's Landing when she was chasing cats, and they were like, "Go away, boy!" Like, who are you?
Yeah.
So
that's true.
This felt really similar to that, and I thought it was a fun throwback.
Yeah, me too. But I also got some other feelings of this, because the guards were arguing amongst themselves, like, you go tell Sansa, no, you go tell Sansa, I don't want to go tell Sansa, I'm not gonna do it, I'll hit you in the face if you don't go, you know? And that to me shows that they are scared of Sansa.
Yeah, they are. She commands respect.
And do you guys remember what Tyrion said about the Lannister soldiers and Cersei earlier last episode?
No, what was that?
It is that Tyrion said that the Lannister soldiers and Cersei's guards, they only fight for her because they are afraid. And that just gives me a connection again to Sansa and Cersei, or Sansa becoming more like Cersei in a way.
Yeah, I mean, Cersei is kind of her mentor.
I wouldn't say mentor, but
well, that's just a word. You know. It's not voluntarily mentoring, or she doesn't, but she has learned a lot from Cersei about being a queen. I mean, she's the only queen she's learned anything from.
Yeah.
But she's not bad crap crazy. I guess it's the difference.
Not yet, at least. Not yet.
Not yet.
But I think it's really funny when the guards kind of turn around and Arya's not there. I think we all saw that coming, and we all...
I laughed.
Yeah, me too. I just want to point out one more thing, though, because I found it so touching when Arya was sitting on the cart and she was just looking around the courtyard of Winterfell, and the music, the Stark music was on, and we can see the Stark banners. I'm getting chills just talking about it. It was so
it was like, I'm finally home, was what that feeling that it gave me. Like,
yeah, me too. It's like, we are home finally. We waited long for this to happen, and finally it is happening. And then we have a scene with Sansa's desk. And you can see Sansa just, you know, writing her stuff and figuring out things about being the leader and all that stuff, being important.
Yes.
And the guards are so funny when they just talk amongst each other, like finishing each other's sentences.
It's like, don't worry, we'll find her.
I know where she is at.
Which I thought was nice. It kind of shows that even though they've been through so much, they still have a connection. Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. And then we have the big reunion time. And I must say, I cried. I actually cried. And I never cry.
Aww.
I never do. So I cried when Sansa and Arya hugged.
Yeah, so did Teresa. Totally wasn't crying.
Me neither.
No, I actually wasn't crying, but I was just sitting there. I was cuddling my hubby's back while we were watching, and when they met, I started like hitting him, like, finally. So that's what I did. Pummeled my loved one to death.
And I must say, because both Arya and Sansa has been through so much, so much, and I really loved the way that they talked to each other down there.
Yeah.
And trying to catch up. So it's like Arya, because she's just interested in murder and fighting now, so she's like, hey, I heard you killed Joffrey. Is it true?
No, I wish I had.
Too bad. He's on my list, though.
Yeah.
What list? What are you talking about, list? And I just love Sansa's reaction when Arya's like, of people I'm gonna kill, and she's like...
That was so good.
Almost this, when Bran was like, I'm the three-eyed raven. Who are these people?
Yeah. What the fuck? Heresetai says, they're a pack again, Heart. Yes, they're a pack again.
I think I cried. I had a lot of emotions, Celia says.
Yeah, for sure.
And now we just have to wait for Jon, I guess.
Yeah, whenever that'll be.
Yeah. And, is there anything else that happens down there that's interesting to
well, I mean, they talk about the statue of Eddard, like, doesn't look like him. No, it doesn't.
So many memes from that, too.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
Resetai says, "Murder sisters." No, I mean, I loved that whole reunion thing. Oh, finally, she's home. I can breathe again. That's kind of how it feels.
Says, "Oh wait, I was basically jumping up and down and hitting the couch because I was like, yes, finally, yes."
Yes.
Yeah, I think I was sitting like this, crying, and my mascara was everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't even.
It was so good, so good.
Yeah.
I'm just reading through your notes, and there's a part I get to where I just. We'll get to that soon.
I just had to see if there were anything else that was important about this scene, but I just think that it just establishes that they have more respect for each other now, and they are happy to be together, and it's amazing. And there's like when and then Sansa goes like, "Bran's home too," and Arya, you can see Arya smile, and it's almost like Sansa's like, "No, don't smile."
Yeah, no, you don't know everything yet. He has visions now.
Oh, I didn't see this from Sansa's perspective.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So funny.
Yeah, and then we have the scene with Bran, Arya, and Sansa.
Yeah.
And I must say, it's not as touching as the scene before,
No.
but it's still touching to have them all together.
Yeah.
And Bran has visions now. Knees.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, no, that was funny. And then they start talking about Arya's list when Bran gives Arya the dagger.
Yeah, because no. No. He says, "I saw you at the crossroads."
I thought you would go south.
And Arya's like, "What? What do you mean?" And then Sansa goes, "Oh, he has visions."
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's how it goes. It was so good.
And then he says, like, "I thought you were going to King's Landing." And Arya's like, "Yeah, I thought so too." And Sansa's like, "Why would he go there?" And Bran says, "Oh, well, Cersei's on her list of names." So there's that. And Sansa's reaction to that, I can't say if it is that she wants Cersei dead or that she kind of like, why do you want to kill my idol? Because it's like, it's this weird emotion that I can't really understand.
No, I think that when Bran says that Cersei is on the list, I think Sansa actually is kind of like, "Oh, you weren't kidding. Who else is on your list? Like,
Yeah,
I'm intrigued. Tell me." And then Arya says, "Well, most of them are dead."
Yeah, that's true. That's
so
true.
I mean, that's how that reaction felt like to me, at least. Like, really? So the list is a thing? Really? Oh, okay. That's, yeah.
I'm wondering one thing though. Is Littlefinger on Arya's list?
I don't remember, but he should be. I hope he is.
But he hasn't done anything that Arya knows about, I think.
Not directly, I don't think, no. At least I can't remember if they've had any. Oh, but who was it? Because, I mean, she followed someone down in the crypts underneath King's Landing by the dragon skulls, and I think it was Varys and one other dude.
I think it's Varys and Littlefinger talking.
Yeah, I don't completely remember. So, I mean, she knows that Littlefinger is a scheming, untrustworthy kind of dude.
Yeah. But I'm not sure if he is on her list.
Cece says that he is not, according to the list that her mom found on the interwebs. So
okay.
So no,
good.
He's not on the list yet.
That means he's safe for now.
But I think as soon as she figures out that he was the one who tried to kill Bran
and killed their father,
and also sneaks up really creepingly on Sansa.
Yeah.
So
Resetai says, "No, let's keep Daddy alive." I mean, Peter Baelish, cough. No, I know that there's something roguish and likable about Peter Baelish. Don't get us wrong, but we do think he's going to end up dead at some point.
and I think it's gonna be glorious.
Yes. If he dies, his death needs to be glorious.
Then Bran gives the dagger to Arya.
Yeah.
Do we think this is because... I do think that this is because the dagger is obviously going to be important in some way. It is Valyrian steel, and Valyrian steel can kill White Walkers, right?
Yes, Valyrian steel can kill White Walkers. That it's the only thing except obsidian dragon glass that can kill White Walkers.
That we know of.
Dragon fire, of course, too. I assume will kill White Walkers.
Yeah, we assume.
But he says that she needs it more than him. He's a cripple and he's a three-eyed raven. He doesn't need a blade.
And he probably knows something that Arya's gonna use it for anyway.
Yeah.
That he can't tell, obviously. But I'm guessing that now, as for now, the people in Winterfell who has Valyrian steel blades, it's Arya and it's Brienne. Those are the only two right now, right?
Yep.
Okay, so if White Walkers come now, those two are the only people who can save. But we do know that they are both pretty powerful, so I guess those two women would probably hold off almost a small army just by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go to the awesome fight scene with Brienne.
Yeah, well,
if
almost.
I'm not mistaken.
No, it's not right. It's not right yet.
Oh no, that's later. Yeah, that's true.
But we have a short clip with Brienne and Littlefinger when they get back, because Brienne and Podrick are standing watching the three Stark children get into Winterfell together.
Yeah, that's true.
And Podrick's like, "Well, you made it, my lady. You kept your promise." And she's like, "Hardly. And it's not my lady, but okay, sure, you can call me lady, it's fine." And I can sort of see Brienne sort of relaxing a bit more. She's becoming a bit softer.
Yeah.
It seems. I
think I mean she's able to relax a bit more now because the Stark children are together. She has somehow fulfilled her promises, sort of. So she doesn't need to feel guilty about that anymore, at least.
And Littlefinger is standing on top of the balcony and watching down at them. And there's some clips of him just watching.
Yeah.
And I'm just...
He's always watching.
Always watching, and you can just see like his head work. I don't know. Then we can move on, because then it's Dany and Jon in the caves.
Oh yeah.
There's so many laughable moments in this episode.
The headline you've made for this section of the episode is Dany and Jon in the caves. Bow chicka wow wow. I love it. It's so funny.
I just want to point out, because Missandei and Dany is walking down the steps from Dragonstone to the shore, and they're talking amongst each other, and Missandei's like, "Oh, I hope Grey Worm is okay," and Dany's like, "Why do you care so much? We did a lot of things, all of them," and they're just like giggling. Like
they're being girls. It's so cute. It's so cute.
So fun. It just shows that they have a nice friendship, I guess, that they can talk about anything. It doesn't have to be politics or war or whatever. It can be just fun.
It's feelings.
Stuff too. Feelings, yeah. What do we think about what Dany and Jon discovers in the caves, though?
Well, honestly, when he said, like, "I have something else to show you," I was kind of like, what the fuck are you going to show her in that cave? Last time you were in a cave with a girl, you went down on her.
Exactly.
So I was thinking, is there going to be romance already? That was fast. So yeah.
That's true. But there's also a lot of cave paintings in there.
There is.
Supposedly from the children of the forest and the first men when they met and had to fight the White Walkers thousands of years ago.
And all I could think about while they were walking down there was like, he could have just painted that himself.
There's a
You
lot of
don't
internet.
know. You don't know.
There's a lot of internet theories going on about that
Yeah.
right now.
Because he could have. Because she's like very easily impressed. Like, wow, look at these ancient cave paintings. And like, he could have done that. He's been down in those caves for some time.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, but it was probably true. John's not that kind of character. So
yeah, if it was Littlefinger, well,
yeah,
then
yeah, I would be more worried.
Yeah. But I was right about something though, because last episode I did predict that they would find something important down there, and they did. So sort of right.
Yep, you were right. That's true.
I'm sorry.
But I'm also kind of like, Danny is still sticking to her guns. Like, I want to help you, but first you gotta bend the knee, motherfucker.
Oh yeah. And I just like that kind of conversation because they were really close and they talked to each other with some sort of passion between them.
Yeah, like an intimacy almost.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it seems like they're building up to a budding romance, which seems likely right now, but we'll see.
But there's one thing that I kept thinking about, and if these paintings were made thousands of years ago, there will be scrolls of it, and it will be someone who has written it down on paper. Some of the first men must have done that. And that's when I became to think about Sam and all the scrolls and notes that he has to rewrite.
Yeah.
He might discover something important about the meeting between the children of the forest and the first men.
Yeah, I think so too. He might discover something more at the Citadel.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Because those scrolls that he had to rewrite, they look old.
Old as fuck.
Oh, yeah. And also, there's...
Sorry. Cecilie wrote a comment in the chat. I don't think he, Jon Snow, has the skills to draw it himself. Have we ever seen him draw or carve? So I think it's legit. Lol. Very good point. Very good point.
Maybe he has big, huge skills in drawing.
Maybe. Max that out on his character sheet. Like, in his backpack are lots of, like, scribbles that he just does for himself when he's lonely at night.
Yeah.
Sure.
But there's also this spiral symbol.
Yeah.
And we've seen the spiral symbols several times throughout Game of Thrones. And I do know that there are some theories out there on the internet about this symbol, but I'm not really sure that I want to go that deep into it because it's complicated. But there are... Just try to look for it if you watch those, and you'll find it. And it's...
I mean, if you're really into, like, theories and going deep into it, then go check it. Hi, Lucia Farah, who joined us just recently.
Hey.
Hello. All right, so are we done with the cave? Moving on? Yeah.
Because they're moving out.
Yeah.
And the next thing that happens is that they are met by Tyrion and Varys on the shore, and they look worried.
Yeah.
And they are the bringer of bad news because they tell Daenerys that Casterly Rock is they have won Casterly Rock, but Cersei knew about it.
Yeah.
She knew about Anne, and basically Grey Worm and the Unsullied are stuck there.
Yep, they're surrounded pretty much.
Yeah.
And at this point, Daenerys is like, enough! I don't want to hear any more talk about any clever plans. I have dragons. I intend to use them.
This is true. But I have one question before we go into that. And that is, how did Cersei know? Is it because she knows how Tyrion works? Or does Daenerys have a mole?
Could be both. Or maybe she just thinks that Tyrion would think that way and plan that way because she knows her brother. Because she probably remembers that he was master of the sewers.
Yeah, she might.
So that's a possibility. Or maybe she would just think that, or, you know, it might have been Jamie's idea because Jamie is a master tactician after all.
Yeah, that's true. But it might also be that Varys is playing both sides.
Could be. It could be.
He's known for doing that.
Mm. But I mean, also Littlefinger is still in contact with King's Landing, if I remember correctly. It hasn't been.
Littlefinger doesn't know anything of the war plans down in the south. Jon Snow didn't even know because Dany didn't trust him at the time. So.
Yeah, no, there are many possibilities why they were able to foresee that kind of attack, but I don't know if it's important or not.
I don't know.
It might have just been a big gamble.
Maybe. What were you going to say, Tonya?
I was kind of when Tyrion, tells this bad news, doesn't he also tell about Olenna? I mean, it makes sense because
well, yeah, she's lost all her allies.
Yeah, she even mentions that when she says that I don't want to do this anymore. I'm losing all my allies, and I just want to go
to the Red Keep.
To the Red Keep and make this a quick process. So I'm thinking she also got the news about Olenna.
Probably.
They must have, because they knew where the Lannister army were, as we can see later on. But we don't see right there and then that they get the news about Olenna.
No, we don't really see what kind of news she gets, but I'm guessing that she gets news that.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. I completely agree. And then she kind of decides that I fuck it, I'm going to use my dragons. I'm tired of scheming and being clever. And then everyone starts to try to talk her out of it, and she turns to Jon, which is, of course, odd, seeing as he's the new guy. But I think she feels that he's honorable from the based on the few things that she's gotten to know about him.
Yeah, and he is new. So far, she's been taking advice from everyone else around her. Now she wants some new eyes and mind on the case.
Yeah, I think it's smart because Jon is a very good. He's a good army man, if I can say it like that.
A good leader.
Yeah,
good leader, and
he knows the people.
He does, and what he says to Dany is really, really, really good advice.
Yeah, because if you come in and burn and melt castles and kill men, then you're just going to be more of the same bullshit that you're trying to stop.
Exactly. So I think that's a really nice scene. The only thing is, like, I just feel that the way Jon delivers that line is a bit flat. It's like, and I'm like, what are you doing, Jon? Are you singing or what's happening?
I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to be careful because he's advising a queen who wants him to bend the knee, and
I just think that he's becoming more and more emo. He's just Jon is like, every time he has the chance to talk about the Night King, he will talk about the Night King, and he won't.
We're all gonna die. Life is so dark and horrible.
Yeah, that's where Jon is now. And I'm like, can someone please smack Jon in the face?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that exact feeling yet, but I understand where you're coming from.
I'm gonna rant about it later.
Okay, cool.
Anyways, we have the scene with Brienne and Pod fighting, and Arya interrupts like a boss.
Like a boss.
And I just want to say one thing, because I really, really enjoyed the way they used music here, because when Brienne and Arya start sparring together, they completely shuts off every kind of sound effects that's put on. The only thing you can hear is the clashing of swords and them making like fighting noises, like no music, nothing like that.
Yeah.
And
it made it so intense.
it was amazing. So what do we think about this scene?
Awesome.
Yeah, it was like so good. And Brienne, like, where did you learn that? And Arya's all like, no one. It was so good.
I watched it so many times
Yeah.
again and again because it's so awesome, and I really, really enjoy seeing Arya brilliant at the things that she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And
it's such a big difference from like I think it was the first season when she was in the castle, you know.
Yeah.
When the castle was under attack and the bad guys advancing her, you know, and she totally lost that fight, but she got away, of course. And now she's like brilliant at sword play against Brienne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this scene kind of like lets us know how capable Arya is, that she can take out a knight in full armor if she wants to.
And I think Brienne is really happy about this too, because I think that Brienne is kind of feeling a bit alone, being like the only female knight anywhere, really. And now Arya comes along, who's noble at birth and is better even.
Yeah, and it's so fun because in the first of the sword fight, you can see that Brienne is trying to be a bit more careful, holding a bit back because she doesn't want to hurt Arya, because she's small and have like a third of her sword, like a tiny poke or something. And when she gets in that first, you know, parry or whatever it's called, she's like genuinely surprised and, you know, goes harder out, and that came out completely wrong. Norwegian English, yes.
It's fine. It's fine. We understand.
Yeah, we get what you mean.
Yes.
She kind of she stops pulling her punches and really goes for it.
Yeah, and that is where it really gets exciting, because then she actually almost wins against Arya before Arya also get her grip together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing,
that's okay,
is that when Littlefinger watches, and I can see him tremble, he's afraid. He won't get any of the Star Kids to side with him.
No.
And that's what I mean, like, with all these close-ups, because we have had so many close-ups of Littlefinger's face throughout this whole episode, and you can just see his feelings. For the first time, you can see genuinely what Littlefinger feels for the first time ever in the series. And you get to see that 3 times in this episode.
Yeah, because he realizes now that Arya is a force to be reckoned with too. That it's for sure a setup on purpose to let us know about things to come. Like, he's running out of options.
And you can also see Sansa being really, really like, it kind of plays along with what you said earlier about her actually now believing that Arya has a list of names. And now she actually can see what Arya can do, and it realizes or goes up for her that, wow, shit, my sister is amazing. She's a fucking, you know.
I think that this will at some point end with Sansa asking Arya to kill someone for her.
I'm kind of feeling that when I saw how Sansa looked at Arya fighting, I mean, I could see almost like Sansa worrying, showing that she's worried about Arya and maybe what Arya has been through while they were apart.
Yeah,
that's likely too.
That's what I see.
And also Cecilia is giving Podrick some love in the chat.
Podrick. He's also a very nice character. I would genuinely be sad if he died.
Yeah.
But I do think that I don't think that Sansa will ask Arya to kill Littlefinger.
No.
But I think that he will do something that just he will mess up in some way. He will be outplayed by the Stark kids.
Yeah, I think so too. He needs to be put in his place at some point.
And also that the last thing you see is just Littlefinger smiling and bowing to Arya as he realizes that Arya looks up directly at him. And that creepy smile is creepy for sure.
Creepy dude is being creepy.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I mean, the scene was awesome. That's pretty much what we can say about that, I think.
Yes. Let's move on.
Yes.
This is actually the shortest episode of Game of Thrones ever, or at least for this season, I think. The next thing we can see is back at Dragonstone. And it's a scene where you can see Jon and Davos walking down, and Davos is funny as fuck, as usual. I kind of had to go back because I was like, what did you just say? And they're talking about like Daenerys having a good heart or something, and Davos says, yeah, I have noticed you staring at her good heart. I'm like, what? Jon, what are you doing? And then, Jon is like, no, I haven't. I'm only thinking about the Night King. The Night King, the fight is real. There's no time for that, Davos. And I'm like, what are you doing?
It's like an awkward teenager.
Yes.
So cute.
It was. And then they're like, speaking of good hearts, there's Miss Sunday of blah, 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 of North.
Yeah, so North.
And there's something that happens here because they talk about loyalty. But does their talk to Missandei bring mistrust towards Daenerys at her part? Or does it make Jon more trusting towards Daenerys?
Oh, no, I definitely think this is positive for his impression of Daenerys, for sure. Because, I mean, he asks, like, but you serve her, like, you're her servant. And she's like, yeah, but because I choose to, I could leave tomorrow and she would be cool with that. She would give me a ship and tell me, have a good journey.
And then they say, are you sure?
Yeah, do you really believe that? And she's like, I know that.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that he doesn't, spread a seed of doubt in her mind.
But didn't Dany actually told Missandei that she could go at the earlier season?
Yeah, no, yeah.
She was free to go wherever she wanted, but she decided to stay.
She did. I'm pretty certain of that.
Yeah. And then they are interrupted by the Greyjoy ship. And what do we think about this?
Yeah, no, obviously I was thinking, what's going to happen now? Is he going to punch Theon? Is he going to kill him? Are they going to just stand and stare at each other awkwardly and brood for a really long time? Hard to tell. But I think they really handled that scene well. I think, Jon can't just punch an ally of Daenerys in the face just like that. And
no, but also he's like, what you did for Sansa is the only reason I'm not killing you. So
yeah, so mitigating circumstances all around. You can't just go killing people when you're the guest somewhere. And also because he saved Sansa, that saved his life for sure.
Yeah, and he asks about Yara. He says like, I wanted to ask the Queen so I can go and save Yara. Do we think that Theon will save Yara?
I think he'll try.
Yeah, I think
absolutely.
I think he has very bad conscience for that he left her.
Yeah. So what I'm wondering is, I mean, is he going to wait until Daenerys returns, or is he going to set up his own rescue mission? And is Jon going to help him if he does do that? I don't know. Because, I mean, if Jon goes out to help Theon save one of Daenerys' allies, he'll prove himself as an honorable guy and probably score some points.
But it still hasn't been Denis, so it doesn't matter.
No. So it's hard. It's it's a weird thing.
I do believe that we will actually get to see see that Theon tries to at least save Yara at some point.
There will be a rescue up at some point.
And there's only 3 episodes left in the season.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's at least one battle in every episode.
It seems like.
So I'm guessing that either we're going to see... I'm not sure if like Euron is the big baddie that will be the ultimate bad guy for this season. It's so hard to tell. They can go so many ways.
So many ways. Ida asks if we think that Jon and Daenerys will have some incest action because she kind of gets those vibes. Yeah, totally getting those vibes. I mean, it might be a bit predictable if they do, and the show does pride itself on being unpredictable. But I totally get that vibe.
Yeah, but we'll just have to wait and see.
I mean, because they're fire and ice.
I mean, it's fine. She's only his aunt.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lannisters are like twins, even.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worse.
Yeah, it's worse. It's way worse.
Let's move on.
Yes.
And it's the last scene of the episode, which is the first... it's the first proper long battle scene, and it's the first real fight that we get to see with dragons. I mean, we have waited like how many years? 7, 6 years for this to happen, and it was amazing.
Yes.
And since this is, I think this scene alone just takes like 10 minutes. We have to talk a lot about it because there's a lot of stuff that happens. And it starts a bit slow with some important information. We get to know that the gold is safe behind King's Landing's borders. And we also get some fun stuff with Dickon. Because Bronn and Jaime goes down to Dickon on their horses. And Jaime's like, yeah, was it Rickon? Dickon again. Starts laughing.
Yeah.
And still I just like the body of that guy. It looks so weird. He looks like Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
In a setting.
Yeah. Okay, so, but you say that there's, I didn't catch that when I saw the episode, but that there is some, like, important information about the gold being said in the beginning of the scene. I totally did not catch it.
What's his face? Ramsay Tyrell? No, not Tyrell, I mean,
Tarly.
Tarly. I don't remember
Sam's
his name,
dad.
Yeah, Sam's dad. He comes and he's just like, yeah, now the gold is safe behind King's Landing borders or something. I'm not sure if it's just gone in through the borders or if it's behind the King's Landing walls. That I'm not sure of, but I know that the gold is safe.
Well, I mean, they might just have passed into, or out of the High Garden borders, and because I think most of the gold was still in that caravan.
No, but they say it.
Okay.
It's that's been said by Sam's dad.
Okay.
And then they are interrupted by Bronn, who hears rumbling, and he says, "Listen."
Yeah.
Oh, my chills.
The chills.
So many chills. I was like, at the beginning of the entire scene in that plane, I was like, oh, the dragons are coming, the dragons are coming, oh, the dragons are coming.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing, like, oh, they're coming now, there's gonna be fire.
Yeah. And you know what they say, you should never be as stupid to meet the Dothraki screamer at the open field or something like that. I think Robert Baratheon says something like this in season 1.
Yeah, you don't want to face the Dothraki on an open plain while they're on a horseback. You just don't do that shit.
Nope. But I think it's really funny because they see the Dothraki coming, and Bronn really wants Jaime to flee. And Jaime's like, I'm not abandoning my army. We can hold them off. And then you just hear, and the dragon comes. Bam!
Yeah. Bam! I mean, it was so amazing when that dragon just came swooping over the horizon and you could just see it spreading the wings and gliding over them and then fire! Dracarys!
Just thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I think they played it really smart, really, because Daenerys is like, she just uses fire to make room between the Lannister armies.
Yeah.
Because they put up shields and spears and stuff like that, so it would be hard to penetrate.
Yeah.
But she's like, nope, I'm making my own path. There we go.
Yeah. She burned that shield wall straight to the ground.
She did, and they can't. They don't stand a chance.
Nope.
Really.
Nope.
I think throughout this fight, though, Jaime, he looks a little lost.
Yeah. He's like, I mean, because he's never fought dragons before, so he doesn't know what to do. And all around him, he just sees his men catching fire and dying. And yeah, I think he kind of loses his way and like direction for a few seconds.
Yeah. The thing that amazes me quite a bit is that the Lannister army holds its ground.
Yeah, like, yeah, like I'm surprised that half of them didn't cut and run.
Yeah, I would run like hell.
It's like, I don't care if you call me a deserter. I am not fighting a fucking dragon.
Nope.
I'm not doing it.
I would probably just throw away all my like stuff and be like, nope, I yield.
I quit. I quit.
I did not sign up for this.
Yes,
Goodbye.
Exactly. I say goodbye.
Good day.
Yes.
But Jaime's also saved by Dickon.
Yeah.
I just need to bring up whenever I can because he's the most and completely useless character ever.
I use this fight though.
Yeah, of course, but they didn't have to have him there. They just bringing him in. I don't know, a joke or something. Anyway, Jaime and Bronn, they are like, hey, Qyburn Scorpion! And I really love that they have figured out a name for the ballista weapon. And Scorpion is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool name.
And I honestly was a bit scared of for the dragon.
Yeah,
I knew
me too.
that nothing serious would happen to it, but I also knew that the dragon would get hit probably.
Yeah,
because it didn't, it would have been no use for that weapon.
Yeah. And I mean, the first time he fired the scorpion, when we get to that, I was like,
yeah.
And then it went wide. Thank God.
Yeah, I was so annoyed at Daenerys. Like, oh come on, don't charge him head on. At least do some evasive maneuvers or something. I mean, come on! I was so afraid.
Yeah.
Oh,
If Rickon's death has meant anything, has taught us anything, it is zigzag, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Zigzag. Come on. No, but I pretty much enjoyed this whole fight, and I really like the tactic because Daenerys went straight for all the carts with all the food. Now meaning that King's Landing won't have any food.
No
they
supplies.
Have taken all this from all the farmers around too. So
yeah, good luck.
That they are food.
Good luck.
Yeah, and I also liked the chase when Bronn kind of tried to get to the scorpion.
Yeah.
Because they have sort of filmed this in a one-shot type of scene with a lot of things happening around him. One thing leading to another, you know. He finds a sword in a guy, and it's just like the way it was filmed, it was really, really cool. And suddenly you could see the dragon, and it's just chaos everywhere.
Yeah, and just the focus on the gold when it spilled out of his bag, and he was like looking at it for a split second and like, no, fuck the gold, I need to get to the scorpion. Yeah. That was a big like character moment for Bronn, I felt, because he is a mercenary and gold is what really matters to him. But at this point in time, he went, "Fuck it, I can't do that.
I guess his life is more worth than his gold, though.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, he could have just taken the gold and ran away. He didn't.
well,
He didn't have to go for that scorpion thing. He could have just left.
they could have done that, but they still were chased, and they were still outmanned, and they were still swamped by the Dothraki. They didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, no, this is true.
The Dothraki, they are brutal. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not scared of anything. They go in face first, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but when Bronn got to the scorpion, I was like, part of cheering for him, but part of not cheering.
Yeah, that's the hard thing, because he's an asshole, and he's trying to kill the dragon, but you're kind of like, oh no, don't die!
But this is the first fight, I think, in Game of Thrones where I have both cheered for both sides. Just
That's true.
because I don't want the Bronn or Dickon or Jaime to die. I don't want Daenerys or Tyrion to die, you know? And most importantly, not Drogon. Not him.
No.
Never him.
No, never him. And also the switching of music, I must say, in this battle scene is really, really clever, because they have used the Lannister theme song and the Targaryen theme song and battle music and kind of mushed it all together in this amazing thing. So it's so cool.
And just, yeah, I mean, the fact that we care about Jaime Lannister now is really weird to me, because in season 1 we're like, oh my god, that dude needs to die. Like, he pushed Bran off a tower, he's having incestuous sex with his sister,
He raped his sister next to their dead body.
Yeah, and then in season 7 we're like, no, you can't kill Jaime, I love him.
I mean, Jaime, he's kind of like a character that is a very good person who has done some bad choices.
Yeah.
I think Brienne fixed him.
Sort of, a little bit. And she at least made us feel like he was human after they had been together for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a turning point where Jaime thought, you know what? I don't really want to be that asshole guy anymore.
True. But let's talk back to the battle.
Yeah.
And now we're at the point where Bronn actually hits Drogon.
Yes. On his second attempt, he hits that fucking dragon.
Yeah, I hated that scene so much.
Yeah, it was so bad. When the dragon was falling down towards Earth, and I was like, no, don't die, don't squish Daenerys.
We all knew that would never happen.
No.
To be honest, actually, the worst thing that happened in this scene, I think, was the horse's leg, Bronn's horse. When the Dothraki kind of cut the horse's foot off, I was like, no! Not the horse!
Yeah, the sound that horse made.
Oh, I didn't care one fuck about that horse, to be honest. But I've seen a lot of comments on the internet like 500 people die on screen on fire, and I'm like, cool. One horse gets injured, and I'm like, no! What kind of monsters are you?
Yes, that's totally me.
I agree, totally.
I didn't give a fuck about that horse. I'm sorry, but I didn't. It was like, there are 500 people on fire. I don't care about that horse.
I care about the horse. I don't care. It would have been the same if it was a cat or a dog. It doesn't matter if it's a horse. It's like whatever animal, and I would still be like, no, not the animal, but the person's
I mean, I care about animals. I love animals. I'm a very, anti-animal cruelty. It's just on the grand scale of things that one horse did not bother me as much as the 500 people on fire.
Disagree. Anyway.
Agree to disagree.
Yes, agree to disagree.
But Drogon, that stuck to you.
Yeah, because I care about that dragon.
It was like this arrow, it just pinched him. It just pinched a little bit of him. It was like, it just nicked him, and I was like, what? What an over-emotional animal you are. Have you never been in pain before? Apparently not.
Well, he's a dragon. Of course he hasn't been in pain before. No one's able to hurt you when you're a fucking dragon.
I was actually thinking that, oh, you're overreacting, dragon.
Yeah. Shake it off.
And he did. He did shake it off.
Yeah, he did.
And he broke that motherfucker scorpion, which was nice. But I do think that someone will survive this battle. Someone will go back to Cersei, and someone will say that they have to make more. And I guess that the next time the dragons will fight, or when the dragons are going to fight at some point at the Red Keep, there will probably be like 20 of those things, and that's when it gets scary, especially if they're like connected to a big net or something. So I'm guessing we're gonna see some more of those scorpions.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's not like they just made one and when it got destroyed, we're like, oh fuck it, we tried that. No. Sorry, guess we can't make any more of those. Because I mean, they know it works. It can harm dragons, so there will be more of those.
Yeah, but then we have to know that they'll have to know from someone who's been at the battle, so that someone needs to survive.
Someone will survive, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So
Danny jumps off the dragon to get off the arrow, and that's pretty much like the last minutes of the episode. And also we get to see Tyrion. Before this happens, we get to see Tyrion, and Tyrion is watching the battlefield, and Tyrion is watching, I'm not sure if it's like watching with horror, because he looks a bit like, shit, this was a bit more bad than I had expected.
Yeah, I mean, because Tyrion doesn't like battle. He doesn't like people dying and killing each other for politics. He really does not enjoy that, and so I think he's kind of horror struck over what he's seeing, but he knows that this had to happen now, because yeah.
And also one of the Dothraki is like, your people can't fight.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I thought they could, but I guess not.
And you can just see like people fleeing and running around and not doing really well. So I guess that they didn't stand a chance at all.
And then he spots his brother on a white horse in the middle of the battle.
He's like, flee, you idiot.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot. And picks up that spear and runs towards Daenerys. And I have never been so conflicted in my life.
No, me neither.
I didn't want any of them to get hurt.
No, I didn't. And I was like, oh my god, Jaime's going to get torched by the dragon. And then someone, we don't know who, could be Bronn, could be Dickon, rides in and saves him at the last minute and pushes him into the lake, which I have a problem with this lake scene, because when he charges the dragon, he is charging through the water, which is only ankle depth. And then when that person comes to save him, pushes him off the horse and into the water, he falls into the fucking Atlantic abyss or something.
And also they have like this widescreen shot of it, and you can see like he is sinking in the middle. So that means that this has to be like, it needs to be ground here. Here's where he's running, and then he gets shot off in the water, and then it needs to be like
like a sudden drop
underneath it as well. It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
No, how? Why? What are the logics of this?
It was nice for it was a nice graphical thing.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't make any sense, but we can say Game of Thrones is a world of magics and dragons and stuff. Nothing is logical, so
yeah, it has weird lakes. I mean, the ocean has trenches like that. That suddenly it just gets deeper. So maybe this was that kind of lake. I don't know.
Well, I can science the fact out of that shit and say that that's not possible because of the way the water moves, but I'm not gonna go into that.
Maybe there was an earthquake at some point and then some earth collapsed or something. I don't know. No. I guess not.
It's not possible.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay, if you say so.
It's not. Anyway. We just see Jaime sinking down.
Yeah.
And I get like the Titanic feels. I get all the feels, and this is the third time in the episode that I actually cried, because I cried when Sansa and Arya hugged. I also cried when Arya and Brienne had their fight. Because I just thought it was so beautiful. And I cried when Jaime got hit and, sunk down.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And as Ida says, armor is very heavy, so it would be perfectly normal to sink like shit. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, but it's like the depth of that.
Yeah, that lake is so deep all of a sudden.
And you can actually see how far. It's like the person who saves Jaime, he doesn't throw him like 30 meters out in the lake. It's
just
like,
knocks him off his horse.
Yeah, and it's just unlikely to
yeah.
No, it's not possible.
Yeah, it was interesting, very interesting.
Just put it as a dramatic effect.
Yes, probably. And as Cece says, yes, I think both Tyrion and Jaime still care about each other very much. So,
I think so too. But what do we think will happen? What do we think of the end? What will happen?
That was such a cliffhanger.
It was. And
maybe Drogo will fish him up.
Yeah, maybe.
I think more that Tyrion will, because Tyrion has seen all this, and I do think that Tyrion will want to save Jaime.
Yeah. Probably.
So I think that's gonna happen.
I don't think Jaime's dead. I really don't think Jaime's going to die. Not yet, at least.
Absolutely not.
And then I think Daenerys will return to Dragonstone and either talk to Theon about rescuing Yara or discover that Theon has already gone to rescue Yara, depending.
Have you guys seen the preview of the next episode?
I was going to, but I forgot.
Okay. I'm not gonna say anything, because it kind of shows a bit of what Daenerys do.
Sadly not.
But that's okay.
It just shows that there are some surviving Lannisters of the fight. And I think she's trying to convince them to fight with her.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that later. But
yeah.
Because I just want to say, how do we feel about this episode as a whole? What do we feel
It was a really good episode. I was very happy with the whole thing. Hands down, it had some of the scenes that I have been, longing to see for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very happy.
Yes, me too. I think it's like a lot of stuff happened, and all of the things that we have been waiting for happened. It was the Stark reunion, and we got to see the dragon.
Yeah.
And have you guys seen the dragon with... there's a picture of Daenerys from season 1 with the dragon on her shoulder, and there's a picture of Drogon with Daenerys on
yeah, I've seen that. That's so cute.
It's really, really awesome. And also, before we stop talking about Jaime and what will happen to him, I just want to bring out one of the kind of mythical people that we have been hearing a bit about throughout the seasons of Game of Thrones, which is the Azor Ahai.
Yeah.
Which is a hero who wields Lightbringer, a sword that is, has flames on it and stuff like that. And there's been a lot of prophecies. Melisandre thought that Stannis was the Azor Ahai and stuff like that. But I am actually starting to think that it might be Jaime.
It could be.
Because there's a lot of things that kind of resembles to the legend of the Lightbringer and to who Jaime is. And the story goes something like he captures a lion and drives a sword into its heart, blah blah blah, stuff like that. And that could it probably be a foreshowing of him killing Cersei? Maybe.
Or it could be, or it could be Jon.
You're right about him killing Cersei. So
yeah, yeah. But I'm just sort of starting to think that it might be Jaime who is the Azor Ahai, because if it's Jon, it's too obvious. If it's Daenerys, it's too obvious. It's but if it's Jaime,
that would be a surprise.
It would,
and it would kind of be like his big redemption. He would get to be the knight he always dreamt of being, but never could be.
Yeah. And let's see, what is the prophecy say? The prophecy says there will come a day after a long summer when the stars bleed and the cold breath of darkness falls heavy on the world. In this dread hour, a warrior shall draw from the fire a burning sword, and that sword shall be Lightbringer, the red sword of heroes. And he who clasps it shall be Azor Ahai come again. And the darkness shall flee before him. And it could be anyone, really, but from the legend itself, I'm starting to think that it might be Jaime.
And then was that legend written in Valyrian? Because if it was, it could be, not even have to be a man.
I know. It probably is because it's from Ashai. It's a legend of from there, so I guess it's probably in Valyrian. But it doesn't say in the wiki. And,
no.
I don't really have the attention span to read it right now. So, but I'm just thinking that might be an interesting vending.
Yeah, and I mean, Cecilia says in the chat, how do I feel? I don't know. My heart is broken and warm and confused. And I think that's kind of how we all feel a little bit right now.
Yeah, Jaime is definitely a warrior, at least. And also one of the things that the legend of Azor Ahai is that he tries a lot of different things. And to become the Azor Ahai, the legend of the hero himself. And it does never work. He doesn't get to forge this perfect weapon that he wants to forge. And there's something about the first time he uses like 50 hours and works for a while, but it doesn't work that much. And then he kills a lion and something, blah, 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 and then it works. But then he stabs it through his wife's heart. And his wife's soul sort of merges with the sword, and the sword becomes Lightbringer. And, maybe it happens when he stabs Cersei. Who knows?
Maybe. Could be.
I don't know.
There's so many theories. But what I suggest is that we end the episode half an hour earlier today because Con Crunch, ToruCon, we're leaving for it tomorrow, and I have so much stuff to do. And I know you guys still have a lot of stuff to do. So I think maybe we'll skip the drop-in today and just end it there, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few more questions, though. Yeah. That I just want us to discuss before we leave it. That's if that's okay.
That's okay with me.
Sure. And one thing is that how will Cersei learn about this, and how will she react when she gets to know what happened in this episode?
She will be furious. She will be angry. I mean, to the point where she probably starts throwing things around.
Yeah,
is my thought.
Do we think that she can, keep her head cool, or will this kind of crack her completely?
Hard to tell.
I think, when she gets the news, she will remain cool until she's by herself. Then she will kind of break down.
Maybe, but I don't think Jaime will be the one returning to give her the news. I think Jaime will be taken captive by Daenerys.
Which means that Cersei will never learn about Joffrey.
Nope, probably not. Not yet, at least.
And she will be just as vengeful to get Tyrion. And Sansa, for that matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because I don't think that Jaime will land in that lake and be knocked out of commission without him being captured, because Tyrion saw where he landed. And unless the person who saved Jaime drags him to safety somehow, he's going to be captured. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so too. What about Bronn? If Bronn was the one who saved Jaime, then I think he will be captured too. But if it was Dickon, because we have already seen Dickon save Jaime once, so he might do it twice. I think he would just die. But if Bronn was not the one to save Jaime, I guess Bronn actually manages to flee.
Yeah.
And is maybe the one to tell Cersei about what happened.
Yeah, I think Bronn will be able to escape. It's very likely.
But what do we think will happen next episode? What are our predictions?
You know what? There were so many open endings to a lot of the scenes this episode that I really don't know. Except for the whole Jaime being captured and Cersei probably, being insanely angry.
Yeah.
So I think Daenerys will return to Dragonstone. And Jon will probably still be at Dragonstone. So I don't know, maybe more Littlefinger versus Starks might happen.
Yeah. We're guessing Littlefinger will die
But
next.
I also know that the next episode is named Eastwatch.
Yes,
So there will probably be some White Walker, Wildling, Eastwatch by the Sea action going on. Pretty sure.
If you have seen the preview, you already know that.
Yeah, I haven't seen the preview. I just know the title is Eastwatch. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm just telling the people who watches this.
Yeah.
So I guess it will be awesome either way. So I'm just guessing. I'm not sure if we're gonna see much at Eastwatch, but it would be nice because there's a long time since we've had some Wildling.
Yeah, and I think just people need to be reminded of the fact that the Nightwalkers are coming. Cecilia wrote in the chat, Anita, I don't know, but hashtag sounds like a whole new possible episode. Yeah, I'm weird that way. I just needed to collect my thoughts and then ramble.
Yeah. I think we have had a lot of predictions, and we still have a lot of predictions that still stands from earlier episodes, but, things are getting more clear now.
Yeah, they are.
They've not established everything. Now they just have to play it out, and I love it.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next episode, basically. Monday!
Fun day.
Monday, such a fun day.
Well, at least now it is. I mean, what am I going to do when Game of Thrones stops airing and there are no more Game of Thrones on Mondays?
Watch it again.
Yeah, all of it, all the time.
Make your own things. Make your own Game of Thrones.
Yeah, maybe.
I found this really fun short video on Twitter about every episode of Game of Thrones. It was like Cersei making the Mountain Dew stuff. Kill that man. Give me wine. Kill that man. Make me more wine. It's just like really, really fun short video that someone has made. But yeah, you should all follow hashtag Game of Thrones on Twitter because there's a lot of fun stuff going on there. There's some hilarious people at Twitter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now I don't have any more questions.
No.
I don't have anything more to talk
I
about.
have no more predictions either. So I think we'll just call it a night and say thank you to the guys who've been following us throughout the episode, commenting in the chat and everything. And we will probably be chatting through the night as we try to finish our fucking cosplays for tomorrow.
Yes.
So yeah.
I'm actually making a secret thing for Link.
Ooh, cool. Looking forward to it. Okay, so that is the episode for tonight, guys. Thanks for watching. We will be back next Thursday, most likely, with some more stuffs going on.
Wednesday.
Yeah, talking about Eastwatch. So, Wednesday. Yes, because Thursday wasn't good for you next week.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
It's either Wednesday or Thursday.
Wednesday or Thursday. We'll be back with another game of spoilers. So, thanks for watching. Okay, bye. See you at TwitterCon.
Bye.
Bye.